Alright guys, we're going to do a little cooking video for you today. We are making some homemade French onion soup, and my brother Kyle is going to be helping me out with this recipe. I absolutely love soup, as I discussed earlier. So instead of making chicken noodle soup and stuff, we are making French onion soup for Nick today because he's not feeling good. First, we're going to start off by slicing up some onions. You can use as many onions as you want. It depends how big of a pot of soup you want to make, but we're going to slice up the onions. That's what Kyle's going to be doing. I, in the meantime, going to melt some butter in the pan and get that going. I got some cooking spray. I'm going to spray my non-stick pan with the cooking spray, so that way when I'm sauteing the onions, they don't stick into the pan. And then we got the butter that we're gonna put in there. I used about a half a stick of butter, maybe a little bit less than that. It all depends on how many onions you're doing and all that, so use your best judgment with that. If you're gonna be doing a lot of onions, you might need a little bit more butter. You don't want too much butter, but you want enough so you can coat the onions with it and you can cook them down. Butter's melting nicely. Listen to that sizzle. Alright, butter is nice and melted. I got the onions. I'm gonna break them up a little bit with the spoon as they go in there, so they're not all clumped together. Ooh, my eyes are burning already. Do onions make your eyes burn?
Yes.
They kill me.
I know you have onion goggles.
I do have onion goggles. Ha! I have onion goggles, guys. Isn't that really cool? I didn't even know they made them. My mother-in-law actually got it for me for a joke because my eyes burn really bad when I am cutting onions when I cook anything. And she got it for me in a joke in Lancaster, and they actually work. I never thought they would. And they're pretty funny looking though, but hey, whatever works. So we got the onions going, looking pretty darn good. Kyle is still cutting some of them. He's finishing up cutting them. And then we're gonna get the rest of them in there. More onions than I thought we had. Alright, so we've got all of the onions going. You want to get the salt and pepper and put that in there. Just generously with the salt and pepper. And then, alright, that's good. Not too much pepper. I don't like spicy. If you guys like spice, feel free to add more pepper. I'm not a fan of spiciness, so the salt and pepper I just add, it's pretty much to taste, whatever your personal preference for that is. And we're gonna give these a nice stir. By the way guys, this recipe here is gluten-free for any of your gluten-free friends. I have a friend, one of my best friends is gluten-free. So I ended up learning how to make this recipe of French onion soup for when she came over to our house because I didn't know, I never made gluten-free French onion soup. I used to use beef consomme, and that is not gluten-free. But Swanson makes a gluten-free beef stock. So make sure, if you are trying to make this gluten-free, make sure you use a gluten-free beef stock. Okay guys, now, while your onions are cooking here, we're gonna add some garlic into it. Everything is better, in my opinion, with garlic in it. So we are going to put some garlic into the pot right now. And guys, again, this is kind of to taste, so if you like more garlic, you can put more in there. If you like less garlic, you can put less in there. It's all personal preference with that. My husband and I love garlic, so I tend to put a decent amount of garlic in mine. Give it a good stir once you mix the garlic in there. going to put the lid back on and let those flavors go together. Okay guys, now that has been cooking for a while, we are gonna add some red cooking wine in there. You feel free to use any type of red wine that you would like. You can use your favorite type of red wine, and you feel free to have a glass while you're cooking if that's your thing. Me, I am personally not a drinker, so I don't keep red wine in my house, which is why I have red cooking wine and not red wine, actual red wine. But like I said, you can use whatever type of red wine you would like to use for this recipe. Alright, pour in about 1 cup of red wine in there. I don't measure while I'm cooking. Unless I'm following a detailed recipe, I don't do measurements. I tend to kind of just eyeball it. And as you guys can see, the onions are pretty darn soft right now. They're looking really yummy. And they got a reddish tint from the red wine that you just put in. I'm going to let that sit for a little while and let the flavors get together again and let the onions cook down a little bit more. Now, you're going to add 2 bay leaves to give it some more flavoring. I like to try to pick out some good sized ones. I don't like to use little ones, so got a pretty big one here. I'm going to put that in there. And then got another one. I'm going to put that one in there too. 2 bay leaves. And mix that around. Get the flavoring all in there. I try to clean as I go, so I have less cleanup later on, but sometimes it's easier said than done. But I try, so I guess that's all that counts. It matters. I have let these onions cook. They're looking really good, really soft. And the smells, oh my goodness, let me just tell you, the smells in here are amazing. With the onions and the garlic, and the butter, I love that smell. So, now it's time to add the beef stock. This one I don't believe is gluten-free, but like I said, Swanson does make a gluten-free beef cooking stock. So if you are trying to make it gluten-free, make sure you check your stock before you buy it and make sure it specifically says gluten-free, because I had no idea that some beef stock wasn't gluten-free. I assumed it all would be, but it's not apparently. So make sure you check that if you have gluten-free friends, or if you're gluten-free and you're cooking for yourself. So I'm gonna pour that in there. So before you pour all of your beef stock in, you're gonna wanna thicken it up a little bit. So, I got a little bowl here that I'm gonna pour a little bit of stock in. Just a little bit, not too much. And then do a little bit of cornstarch in there. You could use flour if you're not trying to make it gluten-free, but if you're being gluten-free, use cornstarch. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then just whisk it together. This will help thicken up the broth a little bit. And it will also help the onions keep some of absorb some of the broth flavoring. Alright, so I'm going to pour this into the pot. I'm going to pour the rest of my beef stock into the pot. You can use however much stock you want. It depends on how big of a pot of soup you want to make. But right now I just used 2 cartons of beef stock. So that's all I'm gonna use today. I did buy 3 because I wasn't sure how big of a pot I was gonna make, but you want enough onions to broth ratio in there. So, since I want enough onion to broth ratio, I don't want to put too much broth in there because I want to make sure you get enough onions in every bite. Looking good, guys. What do you think? Alright guys, the soup is done cooking right now. So we are now going to prepare the bowls that we're going to put it in and serve it in. So I got these really cute crocks that I am going to ladle the soup in, and then after I do that, we are going to put some croutons, any flavor of croutons that you'd like. If you're doing gluten-free, you might want to make your own croutons with some gluten-free bread. I've done that before. Or gluten-free bagels, they work really well. All you do is just put some seasoning on it, whatever you'd like, salt, pepper, garlic salt, garlic powder, whatever you are feeling for it, some cheese if you want. And then you're gonna put that in the bowl on top of the soup, and then you're gonna put some mozzarella cheese on top. You could use shredded, you could use sliced, whatever your personal preference is. And after you do that, you're gonna put it in the broiler and get the cheese to get all melted and get some golden brown on the top and make it super yummy. So finished product. Don't mind the cheese, it did get a little bit burnt. I wasn't paying attention. So that is what it looks like when it is all put together and finished. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this recipe or if you had any suggestions on how to change it. Also, I am serving this tonight with some pulled pork, so let me know below if you would like to see a recipe video for the pulled pork, and I will do a video on that for you guys. Alright, thanks guys, have a great day. Please like and subscribe to our videos. We will be featuring some more cooking videos for you guys to watch. So, thanks again guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching, bye.